Ebusiafo ye ma munyina akwaba eba time with Tatapsen. So Sabre Mosonfo HRPK minimum between komo. Na afedie ye bie nsem wahu. Kwan ya ebefa so etimi ama niema akoso kama ya brabom. Ejumade ya turn this time with Tatapsen live on HRETV. And again, I'm going to be your host for tonight, and we bring you another immigration topics. Okay, so in that you know will be something unique and different. And as usual, we with our very own lawyer RHODA Frimpong. So please bear with me as we proceed. If you haven't shared the link yet to your loved ones, friends, and family, please do so. We are live on Facebook, HITV, Facebook, Tataps and Ghana, and also live on HITV on YouTube. So please share the link and also invite friends and families to come right here on Zoom and be part of this awesome topic today. With that being said, our topic for today is going to read as U.S. Immigration Today, What's Changed and What You Need to Know. U.S. Immigration Today, What's Changed and What You Need to Know. So please, if you haven't shared the link yet, please share the link so that everyone can be part of this, so that we can all discuss what is going on today. But before I proceed, let me go ahead and take this opportunity to actually thank all our sponsors for making this show a possible one. First, I would like to thank Feel Services and also Wellness for being our sponsors for today. If you're interested in having a mental health speaker or a motivational speaker in your church or your facility, please look no further than Feel Good Services. Again, if you're looking for some homes to buy and some apartment to rent this Christmas, Feel Good Homes have some awesome places like Pokwase, East Legon Hills, Adringano, and many more. I would like to also take this opportunity to thank our brother, Mr. Buku and Kofi Sakba, for helping us with a beautiful show last week in terms of financial ignorance and also how to better our family when it comes to getting the right programs and insurances and policies in terms of education, life insurance, and all the good stuff. And please, if you're interested in meeting these two young brothers and setting up a time to talk to them, please call them at 805-930-7950 and also 631-918-0908. Last but not the least is Startup Send. And Startup Send is the reason why this show is coming to you at your doorsteps. If you don't have the app by now, like I always say, you are so behind on the clock. Please download the app, go to Google Play Store or your App Store, and once you sign up, make sure you put in the promo code PK, P-KAY, and get your $20 on your first transaction. Once you send me a screenshot of your first transaction, I will also send you a bag of rice, either to you or your families back in Ghana to celebrate the holidays with it. Before I proceed, I must say happy holidays to you all, wherever you are, because we are 3 days away from Christmas. Those of you who celebrate Christmas, I don't, but those of you who celebrate Christmas, happy holidays to you all. But I know for a fact that New Year is also going to be a beautiful one, and we'll talk about that next year. Since I celebrate New Year's, we can also have some great celebration with it. Now that our sister lawyer RHODA is here, I think I have the single honor to also invite Director Daniel Yeboah Amankwa, DYA or DAY, Day or DA, to give us updates from startups and corner. Then we can proceed. Director, I'll go about Benjamin Days.
Major PK.
Yes, I was stalling a little bit because I'm trying my sister RHODA.
I could say Sister RHODA one PK. There's been
I
a
was
boom
getting
in
a
the
little bit
ratings over
worried.
there.
I don't want our viewers to beat me up.
Oh no. I wouldn't do that to you.
I know you wouldn't.
So
Who's going to defend that case?
Now, lawyer Ben, conflict of interest.
That's called friendly fire. All right, Director, what's the update from your side?
Anyway, so PK, it's been a wonderful year, and we can't thank our customers more than this. I mean, we are more appreciative of everything they've done so far. In time of crisis, they've supported us thick and thin. The customers, so we really thank them, and we say happy Merry Christmas in advance and a Happy New Year too. We actually planned the whole thing together. Said you be paid back to the community, right? So we did 100% cash back, which PK didn't to Mukra can be free because on Nanka so Christmas. But anyway, I mean, lawyer RHODA. So yeah, PK, going forward, I think the new year people will start appreciating it. I mean, we are dealing with the card system. The wallet is still yet to appear on all the customers app, which being par. There's also issue with Capital One, where I think our debit card has changed to how do they call it? Discover, right? Discover card, which is not adaptive of our app. We are dealing with all these things. And see, next year, the Niyama Bibri people will like it. I mean, our customers will like it. And we are doing all these things for our customers because the support is massive. The ideas they give us, they are programming in now, and we are dealing with it now. To see, like I say, you can send across countries. You can send from US to UK, Europe, and other parts. You can also send to your favorite country, Ghana. And see, this is what we have in the process, and there's a lot more coming this year. First quarter, never be never back. In TPK, I will not take much of our time because lawyer RHODA do banana hot cake. In questions and over dodging. I will end here.
Also, no, 7:30 now, she has to run. And we have been very consistent.
Not today. Holiday special. I can stay longer.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I was just saying that we've been very consistent with our time with you because we don't
You have.
Yeah, so
yes, you have, and I appreciate
sometimes
that.
after the show, I got people calling me, "Hey, you didn't read my question, and next time you see." I'm like, "It's okay, give me all the threats. I'll take them in." But I'd rather have people threatening me than losing you from coming. So if we have more time, see, Lily is even clapping her hands and excited about it. So Lily, you get to ask the first question, okay? Whenever there's time for you to ask questions,
at least do this. Give first 2-3 minutes to ask questions before she proceeds. What I say, it's my leading question, be no fan proceeding, at least for our fans. Right. Who are the last question?
Somebody said the producer can stay past 7:15. Producer, what happened from 7:30?
The producer, I saw the whole dodge, and then ask them now where they have it.
All right. So thank you very much, Director, for the updates from Tatopson's Corner. And at this point, we will really hear the awesome Esquire.
Oh, wow.
Lawyer. I call her lawyer, or law. You have a favorite viewer and listener.
I do.
The name of Quentin Osetutu. So he loves to, just listen to you whenever he comes on the show because he feels like you break everything down to him perfectly. So he's watching and listening right now.
But thank you.
Yes. He told me to send his greetings to you. So, lawyer, at this point, it's over to you. And I know you're going to give a quick updates presentation, then give room for more questions so that people can ask. So I will let you proceed.
Okay. Good evening again. By now, I feel like everyone knows me at Tap Tap, but if you don't, my name is RHODA A-FRIMPONG, immigration attorney at BETHEL Law Group. So the office is based in Massachusetts, but I have clients throughout the world. I had a client today who just told me he's going to Lebanon. So it shows that I'm not only helping Ghanaians, I'm not only helping Nigerians, I'm helping anybody as long as it's U.S. immigration, I can assist. So let's jump in because there's a lot. There's a lot. And for some reason, it seems every time we confirm a date, 3 days before that date, immigration changes come up. So Tap Tap, US is always almost the first time that I always announce some of these updates. So I don't know what arrangement PK and God have, but I guess it's something special there. All right. So the first thing I will say, I'm sure by now most people have heard that there's a travel ban that has been announced, but it's not in effect yet. That's the first thing. It goes into effect, it's supposed to go into effect January 1st, 2026. And see, the minute we enter into the new year, no changes are going into place. It does not affect every single person. It only affects the countries that are mentioned in the proclamation. So I'll give a little backstory. So June of this year, this administration decided that there were some countries that had issues, had security issues, had corruption issues. They couldn't properly go through the security process and the vetting process to make sure that people coming into our country from their countries, that they were safe people. So they put in a ban for 19 countries. And I'll go into those in a bit. That was in June. Then literally last week, they expanded that ban to add an additional 20 countries. So the first 19 was 12 countries that were fully banned. Fully banned meaning whether it's immigrants visa, whether it's non-immigrants visa, if you're from that country, you cannot enter the United States. That's what fully banned is. Partially banned means that if you carry, let's say, the B1, B2, or the student visa, whether F, J, or M, you can't enter into the country with those visas. Not necessarily that you can't enter into the country at all, but with those visas. That's what partially banned means. So there was 19 countries in June. Last week, he added 20 more. Most of them are African countries. It doesn't go into effect until January of next year. That's one. It doesn't affect permanent residents. So I know I've had a lot of Nigerians calling and asking, does that mean that I can't go back home for Dirty December? I've already traveled. Does that mean I should come back before January 1st? If you're a permanent resident, you're fine because I read through the proclamation and it specifically has an exception for permanent residents. So if you're permanent residents, whether you're from Nigeria or Zambia or any of the other countries, you're fine. If you already have a visa from those countries as well, you're fine. It's any visa that's issued on January 1st or after. One, it probably won't be issued because of this ban. And if by chance, if it is issued, you can't enter the United States. Okay, so that's what the travel ban in a nutshell refers to. Okay, so the countries that were originally mentioned, Afghanistan, Burma, I'm probably going to mess up how to pronounce some of these countries, so bear with me. Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, okay, Ethiopia's next door neighbor. Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. That was the original 12 countries that were banned, fully banned. The partial ban, which meant the non-immigrants visas, was Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. As of last week, other countries were added. So the fully banned list now is Burkina Faso, Laos, Mali, Niger, Sierra Leone, South Sudan, and Syria have been added to fully banned, meaning immigrants visa or non-immigrants, meaning visitor or student or spouse of a U.S. citizen. Doesn't matter, fully banned as of January 1st. Partially banned is where we've seen the biggest change because he's added 15 additional countries. And some of them, you might know people from those countries. Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Benin, Burundi, Ivory Coast, Cuba, Dominica, not Dominican Republic, but Dominica. There's 2 different countries. Gabon, the Gambia, Malawi, Mauritius. I'm going to butcher that. Mauritania. I'm sorry if you're from there. Nigeria, Senegal, Tanzania, Togo, Turkmenistan, Venezuela, Zambia, and Zimbabwe have a partial ban. And I want to emphasize that if you're coming from any of those countries and you have a visitor's visa that's issued after January 1st, you won't be able to enter the United States. If you have a visitor's visa now, you should be fine. I also want to add that there's what the law says and there's the actual practice, right? Because the Customs and Border Protection officer you're going to meet at the airport probably hasn't even finished reading the proclamation themselves. And so we're expecting to see confusion at the airports if you're coming to the United States after January 1st and you're coming from some of these countries. If you already have a visa today, that's still valid, and you're coming from Nigeria or you're coming from Senegal or Sierra Leone, not Sierra Leone, but Senegal, you can still enter on that visa, but you're probably going to get vetted even more. They're going to ask you questions, expect to go through secondary inspection because that's what the policy says. They're going to be screened even more. So if you have a permanent resident, you're fine. If you are a dual citizen, so maybe you have a permanent, you're a national of Nigeria, but you're also a national of United Kingdom. Well, UK is not on that list. So if you enter with your UK passport, you're fine. If you're entering on an ECOWAS passport, unfortunately, that's not going to work. But January 1st, like I said, is when that goes into effect. And then I don't think it was even 2 days later, then the DV lottery announcements came that has also been paused indefinitely. Now, most of the things that have happened within the last week, I studied the law for a long time. I expect there to be a lot of lawsuits and a lot of challenges to some of these things, primarily because the DV lottery is not under the purview of the executive branch. It's not something that the president really controls. It's more so Congress. Congress created it in 1990. And so if it's going to be cut off permanently, it's either going to be through Congress or President Trump will write another proclamation. But right now, there is no proclamation. It's just an order from the the Department of Homeland Security Secretary that says that he paused it. So if someone has told you that you can apply, they paused it. So just be careful you don't get scammed or your loved ones don't get scammed, because a lot of people have been waiting for it, because technically it should have opened up 2 months ago. And by now it should have been done and we should be waiting for drawings in May, but it hasn't even started yet. And at this point, it looks like it's not going to be starting anytime soon. Or possibly at all, maybe in this administration. I don't know if it's going to ever come back, but as of now, it's been temporarily paused. So no DV lottery, unfortunately. If by chance you don't know what DV lottery is, it's a program, like I said, that Congress created years ago, and they allow up to 50,000 visas to be given to people from certain countries that don't immigrate to the United States a lot. So Ghana is allowed to enter, Nigeria is not because of the travel ban, but because historically Nigerians come to the United States a lot. And the purpose of the program is to allow people that are from countries that don't come here to get a chance to come here. So that was the whole point. 50,000 visas, you get selected randomly, and then God willing, you get to go to an interview. And if you get approved at the interview, you come to the United States. That's it. No struggle, no hassle. But as of now, that's not going to be happening, unfortunately, at least for some time. All right, travel ban, we cover that. TSA. So what I'm going to talk about next, Ella Pink, diversity visa, yes, is DV lottery. Thank you for asking. So this report is not, I won't say it's not substantiated, but it didn't come from the White House. It didn't come from an official. It came from CBS reporting that an anonymous official from the White House gave them that information. So I want to preface it by saying that it's credible, most likely because it came from CBS News. But this is not some policy that you're going to see out there officially, at least not right now. That TSA is supposedly giving information of all travelers to ICE. And so if you're booking a flight domestically, let's say, the holidays are coming, you're planning on going, you live in Ohio, you're going to New Jersey. When you purchase your ticket, TSA is giving that information, the fact that you're traveling, your name and all of that fun stuff. They're giving that to ICE. That should only scare you if you have a removal order on you, meaning you've actually been told to go to court. You've gone to court, you've had your day in court, you've had your trial. Judge has said you have to leave the country and you didn't leave. And so there's an official order for your removal on the records. That's when it should really be an issue for you if you're trying to fly through the United States anytime soon. Okay. If you have no issue with immigration court, you've never gone to immigration courts, let's say you're here on a visitor's visa and it hasn't expired. You entered 2 days ago and your visa is valid until June 17th. Please, you can travel. Okay, you're fine. If you're here on a student visa and you live in California, you want to go and visit your auntie in Florida for the holidays, your student visa is still valid, you're still in school, you can travel. The only people, and I want to emphasize because sometimes the information is put out there and it just put out there without all the details. And so it scares some of us that, you know, your hand says, they say out there, if you buy a ticket, a plane ticket, TSA is giving it to ICE for everybody. True, but it's only going to be an issue for you if you have an immigration court situation, if you've been ordered removed, which personally, if you've been ordered removed, you shouldn't be on a plane anyway. I say that because most airports have Customs and Border Protection on site, most international airports. So if you have any immigration courts situations, if you're undocumented, airlines might not be the best way for you to travel nowadays. And I think that is my major update. Oh, World Cup is coming. I know that there's so much negative news, but there is some positive news. You know, World Cup is coming next year. I believe it starts in June. Maybe June. I believe June. Ghana is in the World Cup. Ghana is playing the United States. In fact, one of their games, I believe their first game is 40 minutes from where I am right now. So if you come to watch Ghana play, come to my office and say hi. Seriously, come and say hi. But if you are trying to come to the United States just purposely for the World Cup, if you purchase a ticket from the FIFA World Cup's website, the FIFA World Cup corporation has collaborated with the United States Immigration, the Department of State, and they will give you what's considered a priority pass. Right now, if you try to get a visitor's visa, you probably won't get it until after the World Cup is over because there's a long wait for an interview. But if you purchase your tickets from the FIFA World Cup site, they say that they will give you, there's an avenue where you can schedule an interview within 6 weeks so that you can at least try to secure your visa to come and actually watch the game before the game is over. But the key thing is that it has to be through the FIFA World Cup site, not any secondhand. Also understand that just simply getting the FIFA World Cup ticket does not mean welcome to America. You're buying a ticket to FIFA World Cup, not a ticket to America. What I mean by that is you still have to prove that when you come and you cheer Black Stars, you know, and they beat England, you're going to go back after. You have to still prove that you have strong ties to Ghana. You have to still prove that after your trip here, after your visit, after your, whether you go to Canada and watch it there and then come back to the United States, you will return to Ghana. If you can't prove that, ticket or not, you still could be denied. That's all I got.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's great. And that's very brief too.
I
You
tried.
probably did this like in 10 minutes. So we're gonna roll straight into the questions. And I know people are ready to talk. If you want to, oh, look at John. John just beat me to it. If you, I was about to say, I'm still gonna make that announcement. If you want to speak, please put your emoji hands up so that I can call you. John, you'll be the first that I call, or Saidi will be the second person that I call. But before that, let's read some questions. Then after that, we're gonna go into other social media platforms to read questions from there too. So let's start off with our first question for today. This is coming from, what happened to your reduced consultation fees? Still happening while slots are available? You already answered that. Good.
Just did that, yeah.
Kenny Joshua asked, why do ICE still arrest people who are U.S. citizens? I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, that actually just happened in Maryland. I believe last week. So there's no real answer I can give you to that question. They shouldn't be. It's not a legal thing that they're doing. It's definitely against the law. They are arguing, at least in the specific incident that I'm referring to that happened in Maryland last week. In that situation, they're saying that the woman, believe she's 22 years old, they're saying that her birth certificate is not real. So she was born in the United States, and then she went back to Mexico, and I guess was more or less grew up there, like many of us, right? Our parents come here, give birth to us, and then send us back to Ghana to go to school. Then we come back usually for, high school, something similar to that. But the ICE and the Trump administration are trying to say that her birth certificate is not a real birth certificate and that she really wasn't born in the United States, even though I believe the lawyer even called the hospital where she was born. They have tangible proof that this person was born in the United States, but ICE is still saying that they weren't. And so ICE, I guess their rationale is that we are not detaining citizens. The people we're detaining are not citizens. If they're saying that they are citizens, then either A, they're lying, or B, their documents are fake, or C, they got their citizenship illegally. That's their rationale.
So what is the fate of that young lady?
I really don't know, but I know that once she gets through this, she can sue the mess out of them. And probably pay off her student loans if she has any. It's honestly going to be up to her attorney. And what I know that they have detained her. I believe the last update I saw this morning, I think they moved her to Louisiana from Maryland, which was against, so there's a lot going on there right now. But the benefit for her is that because she's a US citizen, eventually she'll get out. It's just sucks because there have been people who are US citizens that have been detained, and eventually you do get released because the law says that you can't detain a United States citizen. It's just you have to keep fighting for ICE to believe that you are a US citizen.
All right. Mark asked, is just one match ticket enough to obtain a visa? That's a good question. Or you have to buy the whole group stage ticket?
So getting the ticket doesn't mean you'll get the visa. Getting the ticket means that you can get a chance to get an expedited interview to apply for a visa. So whether you get the group package, you get all the matches, you get one, you still have to go through the process of convincing the officer sitting in front of you that you'll come back. So simply getting the visa doesn't mean anything. Whether you get 3 or you get 6, you get 1. Doesn't make a difference as far as a ticket.
Samuel's iPhone asks, can people from countries with partial ban get visa to the World Cup?
Yeah, that's the tricky thing. I believe there is an exception for players coming to the World Cup, but it's tricky in the sense that the ban says that you can't because you're coming on a B1, B2. So no.
John asked, if I am still in school here on F1 and my visa expired, can I still travel within the States?
If you're still in school, meaning your I-20 is valid, yes. So the F1 is, I always say, it's a permission slip. The F1 just means you can keep using that to enter the United States. Once you enter the United States, that actual visa in your passport really doesn't serve a purpose. What matters is the I-20 that your school issued. So if you don't graduate until 2028, your visa is expired, but you're still allowed to be here. So you can travel, yeah.
All right. And John, I see that your hands is up, so I don't know if it's the same question, but Lily asked, is there a good time to travel to renew your visa if you're on a work permit?
Say that one time. Is it a good time to travel to renew your visa?
If you're on a work permit.
Like an H-1B? I'm assuming that's what the person's referring to. If you're talking about a work visa, that's not, thankfully, that's not covered under the...
No, I don't think H-1B, I don't think that kind of work permit, but you can come, because before you get your green card, you get the work permit first. Yeah, so not necessarily a working visa, but then someone is married to a citizen who went through the green card process.
And it's pending.
Yes, you get that work permit that is conditional that you get to renew to the card actually comes, not necessarily H-1B.
Where is the person traveling to renew this work? What are they trying to renew? That's my question.
Good question.
Unless I understand the question correctly, but you're renewing what exactly? Because if your question is what PK just said, you shouldn't be traveling out of the United States because if you have a pending green card application, your work authorization, your work permit doesn't give you status. If you have a pending green card application, you shouldn't be leaving the United States unless you have a travel document. But if you're talking about an H-1B, yes, you can travel and go get that renewed if you want to. But if you can clarify your question, that probably would be a lot helpful.
All right. And I think that question was from Lily. So Lily hands is up, so I'll let her just speak.
Awesome.
And clarify that. Lily, can you please tell us where you're calling from and clarify your question?
Yes, thank you. I'm calling from North Dakota.
Okay.
And it's more geared towards the H-1B. So if you are on H-1B and your visa has expired, with all the things happening now, people say it's not a good time to travel out of the country. So would you advise one to do so or just stay? Thank you.
Okay. No, my pleasure. Thank you for clarifying. So you want to assess the need to travel. If you're renewing the H-1B, my question would be, do you plan on leaving the United States? Is there a reason you're going to have to leave again? Because similar to the student visa, once you have that H-1B status, once you enter the United States, you're allowed to stay for the length of time that your H-1B is valid. So if yours is for 3 years and your visa itself has expired, yesterday, but you've just entered maybe the second year of your 3-year term, you don't need the visa. You're here based off of the petition, based off of the job. I hope you're following me. But now if let's say you know that you'll be traveling next month or next year, then you'll have to go. Okay, thumbs up. Then you'll have to go to the embassy at some point to get a new visa put into your passport. So the simplest way I can explain it to you is a visa only matters if you plan on leaving and entering the United States again. But so long, if you're just going to stay here, then you don't need it. You don't need to renew it.
All right, this we're gonna let us say ID also speak. Or say, tell us where you're calling from.
So this is David. I'm from Texas right now, Stephenville, Texas. I'm on an H-1B. It just got approved, but I don't have the stamp in my passport yet. So I tried to book a flight this December to go. I didn't get a good date to go get my stamp. I got my papers and my documentation from my HR and everything, but I've not traveled yet. I'm still here in Texas because the dates I got was January 8th and 15th, which is like 2 days before my work starts. I teach in a university here, so I cannot go and leave the job. So I couldn't do that.
Okay. You entered on a different visa, didn't you?
Yeah, I came as a student,
Right.
but I've been approved as like I have the H-1B status now.
Okay. So your company did a change of status for you. Great. So you're not going to get that stamp in the United States because it's only available outside of the United States. That's number one. Number two, why do you want the stamp?
So I want to, first of all, I got engaged last year. I went to Ghana last year and I got engaged.
Congrats.
Thanks. And I'm trying to like go get everything done so I can get my wife, start the process to get her here.
Okay.
So
you were going to travel outside of the United States anyway, right?
I wanted to, but I'm stuck. I didn't do that now because I didn't get a date. So
okay. So what I'll do, so I don't confuse everyone who's listening, you're still in H-1B status, even without the stamp in your passport. I'm sure you know that.
Exactly.
Because when your employer did the change of status, you got a new I-94, right?
Yes.
Came with an approval notice, and the bottom had a part that they rip off and gave it to you.
Exactly.
So that's proof of your status. So for the length of time that you're here in the United States, you can use that. You don't need necessarily to leave the United States, go and get another stamp in your passport because you already have H-1B by operation of law. Now, if and when you decide to leave, let's say you want to go do the, traditional, whatever it is you're going to do in Ghana, then yes, you'll go to the embassy. Then they'll give you the stamp because you have no proof that you should be able to come back into the country without that stamp once you leave. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your question specifically?
So right now with all these things going on, do you think it's going to be an issue to go and get the stamp? Or also, is there a way I can get this process done for my fiancée to come without me having to go?
Absolutely. If you're trying to get her to come on an H4,
Yeah.
well, you have fiance?
Yes.
Oh, baby, you gotta go marry her. She has to be your wife. You
So
can't
that's the thing, though. So then I have to end up traveling. So is there a way to do like a whole virtual certificate stuff? I was reading into that. Is it possible to do something like that to show
I do. Now you're deviating more into Ghana law, and PK is gonna stop you from asking more questions in 2 seconds. I can tell, but but that's more
Actually, I'm not gonna wait for 2 seconds. I'll say you're gonna have to book a consultation because we have a lot of questions loaded up.
Oh man, I was trying for you. I say I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I won't feel if I do not get to everyone now. Actually, I think I went above the limit. All right, so we're gonna call upon Pastor James Ado. Then after we're gonna read some questions. We have a lot of questions loading up. Pastor James, please unmute yourself and tell us where you're calling from. Okay, Pastor James is not ready. We're gonna go straight to.
I'm trying to meet my fist. Okay, hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm from Rhode Island. Yeah, my question is that I have a wife from Ghana. She's been here for 14 years. She cannot write or read. Yeah, how can I get a citizenship?
So the only way around that is you said 14 years, so not 15.
14 years, yeah.
Okay, 14 years as a permanent resident?
Yes.
Okay. So about 1 more year, depending on her age, she may be able to get an exemption on some parts of the nationalization test. But I don't know the details as to why she can't read or write. If it's medically based, she may be able to qualify for a medical exemption. So it all depends on the circumstances of your situation. Once she has 15 years of permanent residence, depending on whether she's 55 or 65 or what have you, she may be able to get an exemption that way. But if it's a medical reason, her inability to read or write is due to medical reasons, and she may be able to get an exemption altogether.
All right. Thank you.
My pleasure.
All right, we're gonna go to some questions, and once we come back, we're gonna call iPhone and Osei, Akoto, and Payo. So guys, please bear with me. Kingsley Agbeto asks, can I send money with top send from Minnesota to Alaska? No, you cannot do USA to US. It has to be you from US to you know, the other countries that you send to. And the good news is once you go into the app, it can tell you where you can send money to and where you send money from. So please, if you want more questions or more further deliberations of that, once we get to the top send focus with Uncle Jimmy, we can go deep into that for you. iPhone asks, please, I joined late. Pardon me. Will you reduce age for us because many of us didn't know? Reduce what? I'm confused. Are you aware of what they're asking?
No, reduce.
Okay, so please come again, iPhone. Fatih Bamba says, do FIFA World Cup volunteers in Africa stand a chance of being issued visas to the United States?
Ooh, good question. Volunteers, I don't have any knowledge of any special program for volunteers. What I do know, based on the White House website and White House information, is that ticket purchasers have a special access to an expedited interview. But as far as volunteers, it's possible, but you have to look that up. And I would suggest looking it up on the US and FIFA World Cup have created a website where everything US related is on that website. So I would suggest that you check there if there is anything that exists.
Okay. EM says, if you have H1 visa but left before your approval comes, can you return on your B1, B2 to the States?
You have an H-1B, but you left before your approval came. Can you return? So if your B1, B2 is valid, yes, you can enter the United States as that. But if you're already out of the United States, it probably would just be better to go to the embassy to get an interview and get the H-1B stamp in your passport. That's probably better. So you enter it as H-1B. So I would suggest that. But generally, yeah, you can enter the United States on a valid visa.
All right. iPhone, can you please unmute yourself and ask a question? Please tell us where you're calling from and your question.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from United States. My question, I have 3 questions. I want to wrap them up before you start answering. The first question is, I got my citizenship this February, just this year's February.
Congrats.
Thank you. So I want to go to Ghana January, but I'm still afraid because of what is going on.
Oh.
Because I'm afraid if I go and I can't get in, that's a trouble. That is one. Then the second question has to do with, I filed for my children when I was a green card holder. That's 2023.
Okay.
So after getting citizenship, I updated it. So my question is, I have twins who have just got enrolled into university and they will be going to university in Ghana this January. So when they come to US, what happens? Because I cannot pay for 2 children tertiary institution in United States. So what happens?
You say you have 3 questions. Was that the second or the third?
That is the second. The third one is, I was married in Ghana when I got divorced and came to America. Then I got married here, got my green card, got my citizenship, but unfortunately the marriage didn't work. And I still have my baby mama in Ghana, which I think it will work. Is it possible to go back to her?
Whew. All right, let's see what I can do. So first question, if you're a US citizen, you're fine to travel. You shouldn't have an issue. you know, again, you didn't say you filed for asylum. It'd be different if you said that I filed for
No,
asylum
no.
from Ghana, and then your first chance you get, you go back to Ghana. That's some way. But generally, you're fine to travel as a United States citizen anywhere. Just make sure that you leave not with your Ghana passport, but you leave with your U.S. passport, and you come back with your U.S. passport. That's number one. Number two, as far as your second question regarding your children, are you saying that they're coming to school in the United States in January?
No, they got the admission in Ghana in this year, January. So now when I filed for green card. So when they come here, assuming they come before the 4 years they complete in the university, what happens? Because when they come here for their green card, they cannot stay out of US over 6 months. So what happens?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so you're assuming that your kids are going to get their visas, immigrant visas, and come to the United States within the next 3 years?
Yes.
Has the petition been approved yet?
Not yet.
Then it won't be. They'll probably finish school before they get their visa, because it's taking quite some time. It's taking.
I filed 2023
as a green card holder.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to take about another 2-3 years. So it's a good chance that. Yeah, it's a good chance that they're probably going to get the visa. If all things being equal, if they get approved, they're probably going to get it just before their last year.
Oh my goodness, that would be good.
Based on that's the first
that would be good to me.
Exactly, but based on current processing times, if it's still pending, which you probably want to contact them and let them know that you're a citizen now, so that their case can be updated. But if it's still pending, you have about another 2-3 years ahead of you. By the time all of that is done, they'll probably be in their last year.
Okay, then the marriage.
We'll talk about that offline. What I can say generally is that U.S. immigration is fully aware and very skeptical of situations like what you've described.
Okay. We are going to call upon Osai Akoto for the next question. Osai Akoto, please tell us where you're calling from and your question.
Okay, I'm calling from Chicago.
Yeah,
I'm in Chicago, calling from Chicago. And my question is, I'm a citizenship here since the year 2005. And I filed for my case over 10 years ago. As of now, I haven't heard anything from the immigration or from the house. So I'm trying to find out what is happening, what I should do, what I can do.
How old were your kids when you filed for them?
They were more than 24 years.
They were over 24?
They were over 24 when I filed for them.
Okay, were they married?
No.
But they were over 24. Okay. And were you a green card when you filed for them? Green card holder when you filed for them?
I was a citizen.
When you filed for them?
Yes, ma'am.
And when did you file for them? What year?
That was around 2015.
So 10 years ago?
Yes.
Did you do it yourself or did someone help you?
Somebody did help me anyway.
There's the problem. All right. And I knew to get to the answer somehow. So you might have to contact the person who helped you, because at some point in the process, if their petition was approved, they would have sent the approval notice to whoever's address was used on that application. So I imagine you probably moved in 10 years. So if you didn't update your address with USCIS, they most likely sent the approval back to themselves. You didn't get it. That's number one.
Good. Excuse me. The approval came in already.
Oh, came to you already?
The same address. Yes.
So then, where are you in the process?
Right now, I'm still with the lectures I heard about them was I should wait. I will hear from the CBS for interview. That's what they said.
Oh, okay. So yeah, then you're fine. So then it hasn't technically been a full 10 years. So you're on track. So you filed, got approved, NVC has reached out to you. You did that step already, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And they told you you're waiting for interview?
Still waiting for that.
You're still waiting for interview?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then you're fine. Yeah, that's not. How long have you been waiting?
That's what I'm saying. Over 10 years now.
Okay, then I don't know if you're sorry. You're facts. You might have to talk offline.
I've been waiting for about 3-4 years now.
For an interview?
Yes.
Yeah, we might need to talk offline because I think I have more questions.
All right.
Okay.
You might need to talk offline.
Question number 2, please.
Question 2.
No, Mr. Say we will probably have to come back to you because we have a lot of questions, and it will not be have two, hold on just a second, sir. It would not be fair for you to have 2 or 3 in and nobody, some people may not have even one at all. So even the first question has taken some time. We will come back to you, I promise you, once we get everybody in, okay? Payo,
Okay.
meet yourself and tell us where you're calling from and your question.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Pius. That's my father who was talking right there.
Okay.
He has filed for me in the year 2016,
Ah,
and then my priority date is 1st December 2016. I'm
okay.
in F1 category, and then when you check the F1 category, in the visa bulletin is probably November 8th, 2016. And my priority date is 2016, 1st December, right? And then I'm documentary qualified as well around October 2023. But as of now, I've not get my interview date, so we want to know the reason why my interview.
So
Yeah,
Payo, you just repeated your dad's question, right?
I can give him an answer.
that is what he was trying to explain. But since I don't know, he's not familiar with the system. That is why.
Yeah, I can give me 2 seconds. I can tell you the reason, right?
All right.
So, okay, your dad is a citizen, you said?
Yeah, he's
Is
a
it-
citizen.
He said he's been a citizen since 2005.
And then
No,
the interviews
it's
in Ghana?
2016. My priority date is December 1st, 2016.
Oh yeah, I don't need all of that. So it's in Ghana, right? The interview's in Ghana?
Yeah, I'm in Ghana.
And when were you documentarily qualified?
October 2023.
You have 1 more month. Probably by January you should get an interview.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
If
Because
not latest February, but you're about 1 more month or 2 months away.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at what they're processing right now. They're processing September 2023. So
exactly. Good. When I check the US embassy here is September 2023. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's about 2 more months to go, okay?
All right. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
You're welcome.
So that's what my dad was trying to explain to you.
Thank you for clarifying, because I was a little confused.
All right.
So, Mr. Sai and Payo, can you please lower your hands for us? We're gonna take iPhone. We've taken iPhone already, right? iPhone 4.9, haven't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Yeah, we did. So, all right, we're gonna go to the questions in the chat. Then we're gonna go to Zoom and take the Zoom questions as well. Ella Pink says, asking for someone regarding the workup, are those already in the visa application process excluded from trying to get accepted to come watch?
Those who are already in a visa application process, which visa, an immigrant's visa or non-immigrant visa? So that's my first question. But if you're already in the process, meaning you've already applied or you've already gone to an interview, I kind of need more context there.
Okay. Ella, please come again and we'll ask that question again for you. Ako asked, hi, if you're married and want to start your green card process after the marriage, is there a wait time that is considered perfect? Can you start right away or wait a while?
Good question. If
I
you have
think those questions a lot, and I think that's a legitimate question.
Yeah. If you have like 4 kids, you've been dating this person for 15 years and you just got married yesterday, you can file today. It all comes down to what evidence you have. Now, if you all met 4 months ago and you just moved in together last week and you barely have any evidence, then maybe you want to wait. So it all comes down to how much evidence you have, but there's no set number of days or hours or years you have to wait to file. Just file when your case is ready.
All right. iPhone asks, is there any update on asylum?
So immigration is broad, very, very broad. And I do not handle asylum cases because that's how I started my practice. And I respectfully,
You are the second lawyer within 2 months on this show saying that they do not handle asylum cases.
Then the other lawyer is probably smart because it's a lot of work. I don't, because and I say it's a lot of work because it's tasking, number one, on the applicant, right? Because you have to, number one, convince this government that you're genuinely afraid to go home. That's one. Two, many of the rules and the policies that are happening and the changes that are happening in immigration courts are affecting asylum. This administration is coming full force at the asylum program and process. And so there's this thing called preterment, and it's a really big word. All it basically means is that they can just decide to deny your asylum application without even having to give you your day in court, right? And so it's very tasking to the person. It's very emotionally draining to the person because you prepare this entire case and now you go before a judge and judge just says no, right? Or there's new changes that if you, let's say you fled from, let's say Guatemala, and before you entered the United States, you stopped in Brazil and you lived in Brazil for maybe 6 months, and Brazil was kind of safe, but you didn't stay there, you didn't dwell there, you ended up coming to America, and now you're seeking asylum in America. America can say you didn't really need to leave Brazil, you were safe in Brazil, so they can deny your asylum claim there. So it's a very needed area of immigration law. I don't want to diminish that, but it's tasking in the sense that you're heavy documentation, and unfortunately, in some cases, very few approvals. My reason that I don't do asylum now, most of the people that I serve don't qualify for asylum. Most of my clientele are coming from Ghana, Nigeria, even Nigeria, some parts of Nigeria may qualify. Most countries that I serve aren't coming from countries where they would have a strong asylum claim. Now, if you're from, let's say, maybe Nigeria or Ghana, and you're a member of the LGBTQ community, and you have evidence that your home was burned because they found out that you're part of this community, then maybe you have an asylum claim there. But those cases are very rare for those kind of countries. So that's my personal reason.
All right. Mr. Charles, can you please unmute yourself? I have tried unmuting you multiple times. Or if Mr. Charles is not ready, we're going to go to Akosia's iPhone. Akosia's iPhone, please.
Hello.
Okay,
Hi.
Mr. Charles.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm working because of that. There's a little bit noise. And because of my voice, I want to speak in Chi.
Okay.
That's fine. It's just going to be responded in English to you. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, because so me your banner me were US na me besa obi na in fact me time na pa ho kakra na me ne brand bi awo ya US ni ndi na me so madere ya me se bia ko betumi aboa be ma metumi anya bibi kakra and also ka ho bi e wo mi se na me don de and then also ka ho bi but brand na ya na dini se on person be ye anyway akwada ho obaba tu ni bin wa ji atu se ne ba no ono so mbeso be ya ware no ndi me wo bibi a metumi aye na me di anya ahatana na.
Unfortunately.
So, Mr. Charles, when your question, it will be there.
It will be there.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. The mayor threw you off, yeah.
I don't think he's talking to us, but okay.
No, I figured it was one of those Madame Fobi kind of questions. That's why. But yeah, Mr. Charles, catch out what down for to say. Unfortunately, there's no direct path unless they're married to their spouse. Okay, so that's number one. I'm assuming not their spouse, but the partner. If the person says he won't marry her, you can't force him. The child, unfortunately, does not give her grounds to stay in the United States permanently. Unless the child becomes 21 tomorrow, then the child can file for her. But beyond that, and I'm saying this purely based on what you just said. I don't know other details. You know what I mean? I don't know other circumstances. If I did, then maybe I could present or provide other options. But from what you're saying, unless they're married and the marriage is genuine, she doesn't have a path to stay in the United States.
Okay. All right. EMS.
God
bless you too.
Thank you.
EMX, if you get admission to school but not getting appointment dates but have B1, B2, can you come to the USA and change status to F1?
I wouldn't risk that nowadays, especially because, but let me make sure I understand. You have a B1, B2, you've been admitted to school, you try to get a visa interview for the F1, but you can't get one. So you want to come on a B1 and then do change of status. Because your intentions are what they evaluate, there's a slight chance that you may put yourself in some trouble. It's different if you came to the United States on the B1 and while you were here, the school approved you. Then you can do change of status. But you're already coming with the intention of going to school. I don't want you to get caught up in a misrepresentation fraud type of a situation. What I would suggest is either contact the school and defer it, tell them you can't get an early interview, or if the school can get you a document so you can request an expedited interview, that might also help you.
All right. Prince asks, I'm having an AOS with a U.S. citizen whose parents are from Haiti. does that affect my chance of getting approval?
The AOS is your application, not your spouse. So no.
Okay.
I'm assuming he's talking about with the travel ban and all of that.
Yes. Isaac asks, to get the work permit though, you need to likely be in an H1 or H4.
What is he referring to? Was that a question to me or is it a statement? I don't follow.
I'm confused.
All right, Isaac, can you help us? Can you help unconfuse us, please?
It sounds like a statement that was correcting a statement, something that somebody said about work permit that
Okay,
we were talking about earlier.
H4 can't work, so I don't know if that statement is true.
Okay, Pastor James, we already stated your question. Oh, please, producer posted the link to the HITV family. You can click on that link, join that family, be part of us so that we can discuss topics that we want to treat over here. And I know most people want to hear the lawyers come on. And in as much as it's awesome to have lawyers, it's also equally difficult to have them come here. Sometimes we really go begging and stressing them and buzzing the phones. So please join the platform so we can all chat and have a good time and see how best we can make this topic better. Mr. Osaya Kutov already asked this question. And the contact information for our lawyer for today is Bethel Law Group. The telephone number is 508-439-4445. And the email address is info@bethellawgroup.com. Please make sure you schedule a session with her so that you can be more personal and things can be tailored to.
Before I forget, I think I announced it on another Tap Tap program, but we are doing our Tap Tap promo. I think that's what the person was talking about earlier, where we are discounting the 30-minute phone call, which is $150. We're discounting it to $99. I believe it ends this month, so I'm thinking about 2 weeks. I think PK, you have the link, I think, or the calendar or something. The flyer,
send it to me on WhatsApp and I'll just drop it in the chat.
Yeah, so because you need a code to get the discount. If you don't have the code, it's $150 for 30-minute session. But it's as a thank you to Tap Tap for, I think, a year we've been in this relationship. I think we've become official now. So I'm thanking my Tap Tap family. So if you book an appointment using that link and using that code, you can get a 30-minute session, which is usually $150 to $99.
All right. Thank you very much. And once I get a link, I'll put it on the HITV chat room. And also, Director, can you put the Tap Send link as well so that people can join that family and discuss anything that has to do with sending money back home. But again, like I said, if you want to discuss topics that we treat here on HITV on the show Time with Tap Send, please join that and so that we can all have a good conversation. William Addison asks, getting married in Atlanta and need a lawyer to guide me to process my green card and citizenship.
Call me.
So you already know who to call, so I'm not even gonna
Got a lot of clients in Atlanta, so I'm not a stranger there.
Nice. Imalencia asks, please increase your exchange rate. Okay, that will be for sometimes let's be realistic. Even the Bank of Ghana, even the black market that the government is stopping them from operating are not even doing more than 12. And you want 5,000 to increase to 12. Hey, be realistic a little bit to 5,000 kakra. Yeah, Safo says it is risky for me to apply for a visa to watch the cycle while waiting for my K1 visa interview. I think it's supposed to be, is it risky? Not because it started off like a statement, but it's actually a question. So you're reading the way our person will question.
Is it risky? Not risky. I don't think it's possible, right? Because if you're waiting for a fiance visa interview, you're going to attend the visitor's visa interview at the same embassy and you're the same person and your records are the same. So they're probably going to see that you have a fiance visa pending. And having the fiance visa pending implies you're coming to the United States because you got a U.S. citizen fiance who wants you to stay in America permanently. And you're trying to convince them that when you get this visitor's visa, you'll go to America, watch the game, and come back. Those two don't really match. So you'll probably get denied for the visitor's visa because they see in the system that your plan is to stay permanently.
Okay. Clement Avoka asked, I didn't hear the answer for the baby mama in Ghana question. Is it possible or not possible?
Baby mama question
I
about.
think it's got something to do with one person who is married to someone here and has
They
kids.
divorced and now he wants to go back and pick up the baby mother. That's risky. That's risky because it all comes down to your dates. Did you divorce this person that you had kids with and you were married to in Ghana 6 months before coming to America, and then you got to America, then you married another person, got your green card, became a citizen, and then divorced the person in America, and then 2 months later you're not going back to marry this person? That looks like a scheme in immigration perspective. That's number one. Number two, they're already suspicious of those kind of things because they get the sense that you just divorced a person in Ghana so you can come and marry, get your citizen, and go back. It's a big risk. It comes down to your dates. Honestly, you don't want to do it without an attorney. Is it possible that you can divorce and then the love rekindles again? Yeah. Does immigration believe that? Very rarely. Very rarely.
Kenny Joshua, your first question was not skipped. I did say that I will be addressed during the tax absent focus with Uncle Jimmy. So if you was a cashback winner and you didn't receive anything, please stay on and join the tax absent focus with Uncle Jimmy. You can ask that question. So this session is mainly time with tax absent where we do have, you know, resource comes on board and just educate us on something that we need to do, and we take it from there. So please make sure you stay on so that you can get your money if you didn't get it. Let's go to Akosia's iPhone. After that, we're going to take Alu. Then we're going to go back to our questions on Zoom chat and soon on Facebook as well. Akosia, please tell us where you're calling from.
Okay, thank you. I'm calling from Massachusetts. Yes, and my question here is, I just got my F1 approved, thanks to our amazing attorney here. She assisted me with the whole process. Yes, so I was previously on an H1B, but for some reasons, I had to change my status to F1. So my company reached out to me to ask if I was still interested in working for them, which I said yes. So, they tried to do another petition for me to get me back on an H1B. But I just got an email from them saying that unfortunately, if someone is on an F1, they should not try changing it back to H1B for at least some number of months. So I wanted to ask, I didn't get the chance to speak with the lawyer, the company lawyer, so I couldn't ask any question related to that. So I wanted to ask Tani, is there any reason behind it, and what is the earliest time that we could, try adjusting my status back to H1B? Thank you.
Is this the Akosia that I know, I think?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Wow, you're blessed. Wow, good for you. The reason why you couldn't talk to the company's lawyers is because they're not your lawyer. So they can't talk to you. And they are correct that because you just became F1.
Yeah.
So you want to wait some time because you don't want to look as though you're abusing the immigration system. As far as how long, I'd give it at least a semester. I'd give it at least that.
At least a semester.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so
much. If the
much.
job offer is still there. Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rhoda. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Hello, please tell us where you're calling from and your question.
Hey, I'm calling from Maine.
Hi.
Oh,
Okay, and I'm a Togolese, and I came in with the R1 visa, and now on my I-94 form, I'm given to stay up to March 2026, and now my question is that I have applied for an extension, but I don't know, it's not yet approved. What will happen if in March 2026 is not yet approved? Am I to pack my things and go, or I still remain in the country and wait for to see whether it will be approved? And if it is approved, am I to go back home in order to get the stamp on my passport, or I can still remain when it is approved?
So you entered, your visa is still valid. It expires in March. Your
Yeah.
authorized stay ends in March.
Yeah.
Not that the visa expires, but your authorized stay, right?
Yeah, it goes together with the visa.
Oh, okay. So yours is the same. Good. All right. So you filed for the extension already?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. May I ask what the extension is for?
The extension is to continue it is the
Whatever.
same this is it is in the line of R1 visa, you know.
Well, it's an R1. It's not a B1.
No, it's R1.
Oh, okay. So that's different. All right. Oh, okay. So R1 doesn't, the reason I asked that is because you said Togo, and I know Togo is
Yeah.
part of the ban.
Yeah.
But R1 is not affected by the ban. So that's number one. Number
Okay.
two, if the visa expires while you're here,
Yeah.
but your extension is approved while you're here, you still
Yeah.
remain in R1. Because that
Oh.
approval petition, the church that's filing for you, the I-129,
Yeah.
it's gonna come with an approval notice. The bottom is going to be something you can rip off. That's what's going to allow you to stay here. Whatever that time is on there, probably 30 months.
Okay.
It'll allow you to stay. Now, if you need to travel to go out of the country, you can. When you're coming back, though, you'll have to go to the embassy to get a new one.
Okay. Okay.
But if you have no plans of leaving between now and the next, 2 years, I don't know how much the extension is for, but if it's another 2 years for you, then
Yeah, it's
it's 2
2
years.
years. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't plan on leaving and going out anytime soon, you
Yeah.
can, once you get it approved, you can
Yeah.
maintain that. Yeah.
Okay, that's clear now.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So usually I don't repeat questions that are already being asked, but for the purpose of those who are listening and not reading the chat, and also for those who are not on Zoom can have access to it. Ella Pink asks, you mentioned something about dual citizenship. What is the status of dual citizenship bill and how does it affect travel? You said this is just a bill, not finalized yet. They have okay. So I just want to state that someone's iPhone says I came to USA with a visitor's visa. My father, a citizen, filed for me for a green card. They told me I will get response within 13 months. On the 13th month, they emailed me they are still processing my papers and will get back to me. It's been over 22 months now and I've not heard from them. What should I do?
You're probably over 21. I'm guessing that's number one. And it's going to take a little bit longer than that. I know on average, it's about 17 months for step one to be approved. My concern for the person asking this question is, do you have lawful status in the United States? Because if you don't, and you need to maintain lawful status up and until your visa becomes available for you. It's a complicated, I don't want to go into too much detail of it here, but if you're using the USCIS online tracker, it's not the most reliable. But I most likely am assuming that you're over the age of 21. If that's the case, your case will be a lot longer than you're expecting. Now, if you're 19, it's a different conversation. Call me and let's talk. If you're over 21, you can still call me and we'll talk, but your case is going to be a little bit different.
All right. Shine's iPhone says, does the ban on DV lottery apply to those who have already been picked and waiting to be processed?
Very good question. So the DV lottery's ban is interesting in the sense that DV lottery is controlled by the Department of State, which is outside of the country. The order was made by a person who has authority in the United States, a secretary, and it's USCIS that right now has more or less paused processing. So it depends on where you are. And I'm saying that because the ban is very arbitrary. It's really like we're still getting information, we're still getting details. It's not really clear. I can't say specifically that you'll probably be processed. I can't say that you will not be. If you're within the United States, I know I did see a report that they're pausing processing of USCIS. So if you won the lottery and you're in America and you're processing it here, those applications have been processed. And that's in direct effect to what happened with MIT and Brown University. Now, if you were outside of the United States, which is the Department of State, I can't give a definitive answer, honestly, because it's still kind of uncertain there, but it all depends on where you are.
Okay. All right. Joda Adams asks, how long does it take to get a green card approval through marriage when the couple are both in the U.S.?
I mean, I've gotten one done in 3 months, but I've also have some that are still pending after a year. So it all depends.
All right. Daniel Dick asks, Please alert international students who want to run their startup after studies in the US can now petition as CEOs for O1 in that. Is that true?
Yeah. So you can qualify for an O1. You can, depending on what kind of startup, you might be able to qualify for it because O1 is non-immigrants. That doesn't give you permanent residence. But there are other options that may be available to you that may give you permanent residence depending on what kind of startup you have. But generally, yeah, it is true.
Max said, I'm on F1 visa and my wife on the dependent visa. We had a child in the middle of this year. I applied for and received his passport. Are we required to apply also for a certificate of citizenship? Thanks.
Your child was born in the United States, so their birth certificate is proof of their birth certificate. It's supposed to be, but you don't have to apply for certificate of citizenship. They're US born. Certificate of citizenship would be if you or your wife became a citizen and your child was under the age of 18, and then they have no evidence, they have no proof that they are US citizens. They weren't born in this country. They were born, like, for example, myself. I was born in Ghana. My father became a citizen when I was still under the age of 18. So I became a citizen through him. I didn't go through naturalization, so I don't have a naturalization certificate. So I would apply for a certificate of citizenship to prove that I'm a US citizen in addition to my passport. But for a child born in the United States, the birth certificate does that.
Okay. Grace Asante iPhone says, please, I am H1B holder. Please, I'm saying all the please in there. Please allow me. Please, my husband has gone for an interview at American Embassy at Accra, Ghana on 29th September this year, 3 months now. And he was told he will hear from them, but it has been 3 months now and we have still not heard from them. Please, I think she meant to say, what should we do in this regard?
So H-1B, your employer is the one that filed it. Well, your husband's employer is the one that filed the petition. I would ask your husband to get in contact with the employer and see if there's anything going on their end. But it sounds like this is more so an issue at the U.S. Embassy in Ghana. Has your husband ever filed for anything in the past, right? Because his immigration history could affect his ability to get any future visas. Or his case may just really be an administrative processing, and they may have asked for the company to provide some documents, or they may be waiting or doing further, screening of your husband. It completely varies. But I would say start by reaching out to the employer and see what's going on there, see what kind of guidance you can get from them. If still nothing after maybe another month or so, then reach out to me and let's see what's going on.
Just saying hi from Cincinnati, Sam and Nanasewa.
Hi. Do I know them? Do I know you? Hi.
No, those are my friends.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't know them.
Yeah. Clement Avoca says startups and are suspended. Clement Avoca, please stay behind and you can ask the question during the startups and focus. EBS24, you have a question here. So let me call I. Then after that, EB, you'll be the next to ask the question. So I'm going to pause on the questions from the chat. Come to I, and once I is done, EBS24 will be the next. Then we go back to our questions.
Hi,
please tell us where you call it from.
I'm calling from Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted to check. So my husband was a green card holder and he filed for me. I was initially F1 student. So in 2022, he filed for me. I thought it was approved. We went for green card interview in 2023. And I understand green card will take time, but he naturalized last year around August. And we wrote to the USCIS to change his status, and I think they have, but my case is still pending.
Yeah, your case is probably sitting on someone's desk or something like that. You have to just follow up because if your husband is now a US citizen, you're now an immediate relative and shouldn't be waiting that long. You already had the interview?
Yes, I already had the interview in 2023 when he was a green card holder. So everything is done. But so since he changed the status, we wrote them, and I think they have changed to immediate family, but it's still taking so long.
How do you know they've changed it to immediate relative?
I chat with somebody on Emma. I contacted one of the agents.
USS?
Yes.
Yeah.
and they said it's been changed to immediate family. But anytime I check, every month I do check with them through message, they say it's still processing.
Okay, might be more there. But if that's what they say, then and you've done everything correctly. You're still married to him, right?
Yes, we are still married.
Okay.
We have 2 kids.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'd say keep following up. There's probably more there.
All right.
Okay, EB, can you please unmute yourself? Tell us where you're calling from and your question.
Oh, I'm speaking from Virginia, and thank you for this opportunity.
Sure.
Yeah. I was late to join this meeting, so I don't know whether my question has been asked or no. So
no, when I got to the question, so your
yeah.
question has to be asked.
Okay. So I'll say I went for my IA 485 and I-130 interview this year, April, and I was told I will hear from them in 2 weeks' time. And it's almost 9 months now. I've not heard anything from them. So I just want to ask, what should I do about it?
Do you have an attorney or did you do it yourself?
I have an attorney.
You have an attorney? Oh.
Yes, ideally, when I started, I didn't have my attorney, so I did this on myself. So I think some of the ability of support, I mistakenly filled that one, and it was returned to me that I should fill it again. So for that one, I went in for an attorney. So when I was going for the interview, I went with the attorney, and since then I've not heard anything from them. So I think about 2 weeks ago, I called the attorney and I asked him that the people said you hear from them in 2 weeks' time, but now we've not heard anything from them. And he told me that I have my work permit to work, so I should just relax and work. That's what he told me.
I mean, he has a point. Wow, okay. So it's tricky because you have an attorney, so I have to watch because I don't want to mess up how your attorney is handling your case. But follow your attorney's lead. If they're not concerned, you shouldn't be either. As long as you don't owe them money and he's doing the job he's supposed to be doing for you. But I'll say that your case is not uncommon. I have a few clients myself who we've attended interviews, and same thing. I think it was July of this year, and we're still waiting, So I mean, in that case, the I-130 is approved. Has your I-130 been approved at all?
No.
So nothing's been approved other than your work permit?
Yes.
It's probably what happens is when your case ends up at a USCIS field office, it falls into the hands of a human being, and that human being puts the file somewhere. That's sometimes what causes the delay.
Okay.
It's possible that's one of those situations. There's a possibility that maybe they're investigating your case at all. There's a lot of possibilities, but if your work authorization is still valid, you should be fine. If you're still married and still living with your spouse, you should be fine. Yeah, I would say like your lawyer, don't worry too much.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
So this is from IKEA. IKEA wants the site to check how much stay with a B1 B2 visa.
IKEA wants the site to check
on how much is the stay with the B1 B2 visa.
As in how long she's authorized to stay in the United States?
Yes.
So you want the I-94 website? Okay, I can send that over to you. Yes.
Yeah, you can put in the chat to select. Akko says, can I apply for a K visa when I already have a B1 B2? I travel a lot on the B1 B2 visa. Would that in any way seem like a misrepresentation? If it will that cause my B1 B2 to be canceled?
I think I answered that a little bit earlier. It honestly depends. So understand that the fiance visa is so you can come into America to marry the person who filed for you. That's the whole point of it, to come into America. So if you're coming into America with a B2, presumably you don't need the K1. You don't need the fiance. And in some situations, if it's determined that you have a K1 pending and you're coming in on a B2, your intentions are not genuine, because B2 presumes you're coming to leave. You just come and then you leave. So there's a risk of misrepresentation there. Will they revoke or cancel your visa? Honestly, it depends if the officer catches it.
Okay, Daniel Dake. Hey, Daniel, your question, I don't know if I want to ask this question. Daniel, please call the lawyer. Why?
Where's the question? I don't think I see the question, but
it's right there. I'm looking at it. I don't want to read it now. Create any trigger words here.
I just saw it.
Sheridan, what's a good time to file for a dependent in if you have U.S. citizenship? What's the process, please?
Well, what's a good time to file for a dependent? Depends on, I guess, you, honestly. If the dependent, meaning your child, I'm assuming your child, if they're 18, 19, I would do it soon, like as soon as you can. If they're younger than 18 or 19, whenever you want to. The reason I say 18 or 19 is because once that dependent, the child turns 21, they're not a dependent anymore. The process looks differently for them. If they're under that, so best example, Sheridan, if you file for, let's say, your daughter who's 13, and she's coming from Germany, she'll probably be here in about 2 years, give or take. If she's 23 and she's coming from Ghana, she'll probably be here in about 5 years. No, I'm sorry, 23, probably like 8, 9 years. So it all depends on where where the child is that you're filing for and how old that child is. So let that kind of guide your decisions.
Okay. Joel Simon asked, I am an MBA student in my second year and currently on OPT, working as an accountant at a small accounting firm. As they say, you have to start working on your status as soon as possible. I was looking to EB1 or EB2, kindly advise on it, and more likely option in case though
In my case,
currently,
though.
yeah.
All right, so I can't give the full answer to that question. It's really lengthy. So EB1, extraordinary ability. You're the top creme de la creme, PhD, researcher, professor. EB2 might be more in your level, because I'm saying that because you said MBA student. So I imagine once you graduate, you'll have your master's. So it honestly depends. If you have an employer who's willing to petition for you, if the accounting firm wants to keep you in the United States long-term, they might want to look into an EB2 for you once you graduate. But for further discussions, we'd have to talk offline.
Kingsley Agbeto asks again, if you are not subject to a 212E rule as a J1 teacher, what does it mean?
That means that you're blessed. It means that you don't have to return to your country of origin and stay there for 2 years. So a J1, it's exchange. So your country and the United States have some sort of a program that allows you to come to the United States and stay here for some time. If you decide that you want to stay here permanently, if you are subjected to that 212E residency requirement, then you'd be required to at least go back and stay in your country for a total of 2 years before you could get a green card, unless you've qualified for a waiver and all of that. But if you're not subjected to it, then it means that, let's say you meet, your history teacher, you fall in love with the math teacher, and you two get married and she wants to file for you, you don't need to go and sit in Ghana for 2 years. You don't need to get a waiver. You can just go ahead and get the green card process done.
That analogy is something else. All right. Ifo says, sorry, I was a little busy. Didn't hear on any updates on asylum.
I didn't really give any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said she was gonna run away from that. Eric says, does the ban affect new NIW applications? What does one need to have for a short approval?
God. Only God can assure an approval. So the ban does not affect any specific application. It affects the issuance of visas. So that's one, issuance of visas of nationals coming from a specific country. So if you're applying for NIW, national interest waiver, which would ultimately be an immigrant's visa, you're coming from Ghana, you're not impacted. So it's two things. One, what country are you coming from? That's the primary thing. So if you're not from a country that's on the travel ban list, then you're not impacted.
Okay, yeah, Suffer asks, Frida, who's Frida?
I want to say he met RHODA, because I don't know who Frida is.
I thought that was your first name.
Not that I know of.
All right. Well, I'm gonna read exactly what it says. Frida writes RHODA. So, lawyer, you're a very wonderful attorney.
Oh.
TapTap owes you a lot for all the services you render to TapTap customers. So let me just clarify this real quick, okay? So basically, HRTV brings RHODA to help us with the TapTap Send program. So if you start to bring bill in there, it will create a problem for us. So TapTap Send is sponsoring this program.
Yeah.
So don't be throwing bill on Startup Send for somebody. Again, Startup Send customers are very grateful for all that you do for us. So, yeah, Safo, thank you very much.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Ben says, I'm a citizen and my son is here on the green card. He's 16 years now. Does he become citizen automatic or I need to process him N400?
He's under 18. You're a citizen. He has a green card. Sounds like he gets derivative citizenship through you. He sounds like me, honestly. That's how I got citizenship. So sounds like he's all good to go. You could either apply for a certificate of citizenship if you want to for him. He can't naturalize. You don't need to do an N400. That's a naturalization application. If he was 19 when you became a citizen, then that'd be different. But he's still under 18, so you don't need N400. You just need a certificate of citizenship. That's what I can tell you. And a U.S. passport.
All right. Clement Advocate comes back again. I filed currently under the EB1A category and submitted Form I-130 in May. After filing, I had to travel outside the United States. Consequently, I requested an expedited process, but my request was not approved. Despite this, I continued to follow up and they eventually scheduled me for an emergency appointment on the second to last day available. However, they granted me only one.
Okay, before you even keep reading, I need clarification immediately because you said Clement says he filed concurrently under the EB1A and then submitted a Form I-130. So do you mean I-140? Is that what you're referring to? That's not because I-130 is for a family petition. And I haven't heard anything about a spouse or a child or a parent. So already we're kind of off to a shaky start because the question is a bit unclear. And it's quite lengthy, but if you want to keep reading, go ahead.
I think I'll probably say he should call you and get more details because I don't want him to keep explaining himself and throwing more information out here that may jeopardize him. See, our job is to safeguard you guys' interest, okay? So sometimes when I see a question and I skip it, I do that on purpose because just reading those questions alone may trigger some words, and I don't want to put ourselves in that position. Ikea says thanks, and like RHODA also posted the I-94 link as well in the chat. Bismack, since Bismack has a question coming up, I'm gonna have him on mute for him to speak. How about his question? Bismack, please tell us where you're calling from. Then after
Hi.
we're gonna.
All right, okay, good. Good evening. I'm calling from Ohio. So my question is, I have a sister who is in this country. You know, she was a nanny to one U.S. Ghana U.S. Embassy worker. So the boss actually was coming last year into US, and then she gave a 5-year visa to this sister of mine. But it has an annotation which says that my sister is a nanny to this particular person who works with the Ghana U.S. Embassy. So when they left, after the boss period, when she actually finished
Hold
her
on,
work.
hold on. Bismack, hold on. Lawyer RHODA.
Yes.
Do you want him to proceed? I already have a little triggers with that. I don't know if you want him to proceed with his statement.
Yeah, I feel like we should take this offline. I don't want you to, if you're saying that the boss works for the U.S. Embassy in Ghana, you don't want to put that person in trouble. So that's one. And then two, you probably won't have the answers to the questions I'm going to ask you because it sounds like this is about your sister and not you. So I would suggest having your sister call me, or if you want to be part of the conversation, you can be on the line as well.
All right, okay, cool. Then we're gonna when should we call you, please?
I assure if you call right now, someone will answer the phone. You won't talk to me, but someone will help you schedule a time. So you'll speak to someone, they'll gather more information, and then they will assist you in scheduling a time. But since you're here, if you're in PK's group chat or WhatsApp chat, he can post the link and you can schedule it yourself. It's a discount. So.
All right, okay, cool. Thank you very much. Okay.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much, Bismack, and also make sure you click on the HITV link and the Friends of Startups link as well. And
all right, okay, cool. Thank you very much. Okay,
I'm gonna post that link in there as well. Jess, please tell us where you're calling from and your question.
Hi, my name is Jessica, and I'm calling from Texas. So, my dad is a citizen here,
Okay.
and he was initially he tried to file for my younger sister. I came here with DV, so whatever that he was trying to file, it didn't work out. So, but my younger sister is now in the US, but she's on a F1 visa.
Yeah.
And dad wants to file for her, but he still go ahead and file for her.
I'm sorry, I think someone was talking over you, so I didn't hear the last
it was Bismarck. I already muted him.
Okay, thank you. What was the last thing that you asked? I didn't hear the last sentence.
She is on an F1 visa.
Okay.
And now my dad wants to file for her since she's already in the country.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible. And like what
Okay, last thing I heard is it possible?
What was the process? Because
Okay.
she's 26 already, so.
Oh, 26. Oh, okay. So he can file for her. She's on F1, so she's a student. She's probably not going to complete the process. Your father's process is probably not going to complete before she finishes school. She's probably going to finish school before your father's process is complete. So he can certainly file for her, but there's a good chance that she might have to complete her process out of the United States, because by the time a visa becomes available for her, which probably won't be to about 7 or 8 years, I'm assuming she'd be out of school, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we hope so. So she's out of school. Then
she's gonna finish school next year, April.
Okay, yeah. So she probably will have to complete her process through consular processing, so at the embassy. But your dad can do the first part. He can petition for her, but she won't be able to complete her green card processing in the United States.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Our time is very much up, but then I'm gonna take some few more questions. Then hopefully we'll take Yasafu as the last person on the call. So Juliet also says, if I have B1, B2, and I am outside the United States, can I still apply for F1 visa? And would the B1, B2 affect my F1?
Oh, no, because they're both very similar visas. They're both non-immigrants, and they both mean that you'll come to the US, do whatever you need to do, and go back. So it won't affect it. I just wouldn't suggest applying for an international student visa, then entering the US on a B2 just to change it. I wouldn't suggest that. Like, yeah, if you're coming for school, enter on the F1.
All right, Sheridan asks, thank you for answering my question. For filing for a dependent, it is for a sibling under 20. Could you indicate the process though?
Is Sheridan filing for her sibling who's under 20?
Yes.
Sheridan's a US citizen. It's going to take about 16 years for the process to be officially done. Well, it's more or less a start, if I remember the question correctly. So you would petition, submit the application. You probably won't hear anything back for a very, very, very long time. And then eventually, when a visa is available for your sibling, they'll be able to continue the process after that. By then, they might be married and have kids, and their kids and their spouse will also be able to be added to the application.
Okay. Rachel Asari asks, is visa screening a requirement for H-1B?
Visa screening? Yeah, yes. If I understand your question correctly, when you say visa screening, do you mean vetting, like checking your background? I know right now H-1B applicants have to have their social medias available to the government. That's one of the changes. But if you can clarify a little bit what you mean by visa screening.
Okay. Clement Avocado comes back to say, sorry, the I-131. I think it was on the one question that you wanted a confirmation that I think is the
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think we still need to talk offline, Clement.
Yeah. Sawiri says my IR1 visa is still pending for interview in Ghana. Can I transfer my case to Togo? Isn't Togo banned?
Togo's banned, but I'm assuming Sawiri is not from Togo. They're probably from Ghana. Yeah, it says interviews in Ghana. So the ban is if you're a national of that country. So technically, no. Well, the answer is no to Sawiri, because the Department of State no longer allows you to do what's called third country national interviews. So you can't move your case to Togo anyway, even though it has nothing to do with the ban. It's just that process is no longer available. They've stopped doing that.
Okay. Cole says if you have a B1, B2 visa and your I-94 was for 6 months, you stayed almost 4.5 months. and left before I-94 expired, can you travel back without any hassle?
You can travel back if your visa is still valid. Yes. It all depends on how quickly you're coming back. If you came in January and you left in April and you're coming back in July, that's a little, you may have a hassle because it's seen as a vacation visa, temporary. So if you're spending more time in the United States than you are spending in your home country, at some point you're going to have an issue. But if you come and you leave in April, you don't come back again until December for Christmas, that's different.
Thanks so much, lawyer. This is from Grace Asante iPhone. But please, I didn't get the response to my question well. Lawyer, I beg, can you come again to my question on what to do in regards to my question that my husband gone for interview on 29th September, months now, and not hear from them?
Your husband should contact his employer. The H-1B is a visa that some company in America wants your husband to come and work for them. So it starts with them. They submitted something here. Whatever they submitted here it got approved. So the case was then moved to Ghana for your husband to go get his visa. So if it's been 3 months, first check with them because the job offer hopefully still is valid, right? So check with them. And if still nothing from them, if they say they don't know, then follow up with the U.S. Embassy. But either way, I would still say follow up with the U.S. Embassy if it's been 3 months. But there's a chance that your case is in administrative processing, which means it can be there for any reason. They could still be doing security checks. If you said H-1B, maybe your husband didn't disclose the social media to them, or maybe he did disclose the social media and they've seen something there. So there are a wide range, of reasons why his case may still be pending. But start with the phone call to the employer.
Okay. Nana Kojo want to know if the promo code has ended. Nana Kojo, she said it's going to end at the end of this month. So you have about 2 weeks. That's exactly her words. So please make sure you do take advantage of that. Robert Watch says, I hold a PhD in finance from Ghana, but currently on an F1 pursuing another PhD in math education. Can I try the EB1?
You definitely have the qualifications for it. So yeah, that's for sure. I would need a little bit more context, but yeah, you have the qualifications for it.
All right, A-Class did send a link to the First of ASENSO. So please, if you don't have it, please make sure you take advantage of that. And also, lawyer RHODA's number is there as well. We're gonna take our last callers and we're gonna call it a day on this show for tonight. I must say I'm grateful for each and every one. Oh, there's a question. Oh, okay, the question was answered. That was my question. The K1 person has. Okay, I think every question has been asked over here. I'm not gonna come back to this. Yasafo, please unmute yourself and tell us where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Ghana. My nephew, RHODA, my nephew has an interview, F1 interview at the Ghana Embassy in March 2026 with the wife, but they just had a baby. How can they add the baby to the application because they have already submitted the application to the embassy? Is it possible?
Yeah.
Thank you.
The same application that they did for themselves, they have to do one for the baby, DS-160.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, Yasafo is the fastest question asked over here today. I think
I like that.
Yeah, the end was straightforward. Yeah, thank you very much. Zoom user, please. Yeah, he wasn't part of the list, but I'll pardon you on this. Tell us where you're calling from, and we can end you with the call with that one. Okay, Zoom user is not ready to speak. I'll ask this question from Prince Quatin on Tataps and Facebook. Prince Quatin asks, if you have a pending VAWA case, can you attend university in the USA?
Generally, yes, because schools won't deny you admission just because you don't have documentation. So generally, you can.
Okay.
Hello.
Hold on just a second. Zoom user. On the HRTV page, Samuel Noba says, interesting program. Kings Jersey TV says, good program. Thank you, lawyer. Okay. Zoom user, please tell us where you're calling from.
PK America, from the US. Last month, I'm confirming, bye-bye. But, on your green card in your mind, It's men question free for me.
Well, I break it.
Also, last
Did you-
month, Dr. Fani Baba, and the green card by.
Oh, the green card hasn't come yet. Oh, okay. Has he paid the fee? Have you paid the fee?
Yes.
Pacho, wait till you have $220 immigrants
Also,
fee.
yes. Also, yes.
Just wait. They're taking a long time with that. Yeah. And have you moved?
No.
Oh, so the address that your child has on their DS-260, where it said they wanted the green card to be sent to, that's the same address where you're living now.
Yes, please.
Okay. And did you pay the fee before or after your child entered the country?
After.
Yeah. That's why. So yeah, when did you say you paid for it?
This month.
Oh, give about a month or two. Just give it some time. It takes about 6 weeks or so. It's about 2 months to get it.
Okay. So after he got his green card, Esa may apply for naturalization or citizenship.
Oh, how old is your child?
16.
16. You're a citizen. Okay, so technically you can apply for certificate of citizenship. You don't apply for naturalization for that child. That child does not qualify for naturalization. One, they're under the age of 18. And they get their citizenship through you. So you don't apply for naturalization for that child.
All right.
Now I have to wait for his green card to come before.
Technically, if you want to, yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
They're a permanent resident without it. They have the visa and their passport, so they're permanent residents. But to make it official, yes, you can wait for the green card.
Wow, Zumi Jesus said thank you, Madam Lawyer. And also Kojo Yaba says, hello, Madam Attorney. I stayed in Ghana from 2019 to 2022 on a green card. I came back to the USA in 2022 without any issue. Can I travel to Ghana without any issues now?
You stayed out of the country for 4 years? 3 years? I'm not good at, I only know how to add in 1,000. 10,000 plus 10,000 is 20,000. That's the kind of math I like. So you were out for 3 years and then they allowed you to come back in. Wow, God likes you. Can you travel to Ghana without any issues? You can leave, yes. Coming back, though, I can't guarantee. I really can't conclusively say. Also, I hope you won't be going back for another 3 years. That's the thing. If I would ask, can you apply for maybe citizenship? You don't qualify for citizenship. You've been out the country for so long. Assess whether you really need this trip. Assess whether you really need this trip. You can leave, but coming back, because if they run through your background and realize that you technically abandoned your green card, you may have an issue there. But yeah, I'll leave that to you.
All right, this is where we wrap up the show. Thank you so much, Lawyer. I'm so grateful. We'll call you. This is from Grace Asante. And John says, thank you, Lawyer Rhoda, for the smart delivery tonight. As usual, you always deliver. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that next week we have another immigration lawyer who will be coming on the show for the first time to assist Lawyer Rhoda whenever she's too tight to come here. So please be mindful of that. We have more immigration coming up next week. But then, the people's choice and people's favorites, Lawyer Rhoda Frimpong.
Thank you.
So much for your time and thank you for your deliveries. You're always on point. It looks like all the lawyers that we have on the show always come with nothing but with their A game and help to break it down to everyone. Please, if you haven't joined any of the two links that I talked about, please do so because I'm going to be posting the calendar over there so they can take advantage of it. I'm going to be posting on the HRT platform. I presume that A-Class will also put it on the Friends of Startup Send. Please do so that you can get access to it and schedule your appointments or call the office, better yet, at 508-439-4445, or you can email them at info@bethellawgroup.com. Again, my name is Dr. P.K. OFORI-ASENSO, and I'm glad to have you choose me as your host for tonight. I will call upon A-Class or Dr. Danny to give us the closing remarks, and please do not leave after we sign out on YouTube and Facebook because there'll be a startups and focus session so that you can also ask all your startups and questions that you have. So, directors, can you guys please sign out Lawyer Rhoda for us for a job well done? Director Danny, Director A-Class.
That's Mame RHODA for the good work Debiano Oye MIA. We really appreciate it. And God richly bless you for your time and everything and all your efforts. We don't take that for granted. 2025, and we are so glad and will continue to appreciate every bit of the effort we are on adding. So God continue to bless you and we wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year, and may more blessings flow for 2026 and beyond.
Amen.
God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Merry Christmas and see you in the new year.
See you in the new year. You go into the new year with a great resolution plan and also execute it as always. We can't wait to have you next year to bless us with some good stuff. Thank you very much. And I'm pleading with you all to please reach out to our office and get that consultation going. And make sure you take advantage of the $99.99 discount. God bless you. This is where we draw the curtains on our live session with lawyer RHODA. And I must say, we are grateful to all our viewers from all walks of the world as you join us today. And please make sure that you join our family link so that we can always have a conversation and the good talks in terms of how to get some good topics in here on the show, Time with Tatopson. And thank you all for wherever you're coming from. And also, please see you next week, same time, same day, Monday, 6 p.m. on the show right here on HRTV. God bless you all. Bye-bye. Please stay on for